Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back into another video today. Where today, as I promised a couple of weeks ago, we're back doing another themes retrospective. Yeah, it's going to be a long time, so excuse the hyperness, but once again, we are back for another episode of our long-form content where I take a look back and share my personal, very biased, and logical thoughts on a theme. Last time we did Jurassic World, and you guys seem to really love that, so I'm here today to do a theme that I don't pay enough attention to, I imagine. One that sort of missed me age bracket-wise, but I remember seeing in the catalogues when it came out, and that is, of course, Ninjago. You guys read the title. So it's not a theme I have a huge amount of nostalgia to. I have very few Ninjago sets. I think it's 2 and then 2 polybags. So this is going to be interesting, and we're going to see if the theme has changed over time and what my opinions are, and you guys are going to hate me for it because I know a lot of you grew up with Ninjago and it was like your entire childhood. So I'm here to ruin that. Woo! This is going to be fun. The other piece of note I should really say at the beginning is I doubt we're going to do all 12 years today. I have a feeling like I'm going to stop somewhere in the mid-2010s because I cannot record for 3 hours straight. It depends on how long I ramble and how much time we spend looking at these sets. But either way, without any further ado, it's already been 1:40 and I haven't even looked at a single set. We're going to get straight into the 2011 launch lineup for Ninjago. And for me, that starts with Ninja Ambush, which is a little wooden-like set. You've got Kai and a Skullkin. See, I know some Ninjago stuff. And actually, this one, I don't own it, but this one is nostalgic. I remember seeing this in catalogs like way back in the day. Like this was it, wasn't it? I sort of really love the build, and that is weird considering it's literally just a wooden wall. I really like the feature for one where you push down on the thing and the ninja launch out and the sides split, but it does feel very 2011. It feels very Pirates of the Caribbean almost, and there's a lot of nostalgia there. I actually really love it. And you get the golden weapons, which is a cool collectible for this wave. I really love the palette too, and that old ninja design is still so iconic that I can't help but really appraise this. It's a really cute. This would have been what, £10, so that's cool. That seems worth it to me. Moving on though, because I got to go at some pace. Do you know there's over 400 Ninjago sets? I don't know what I'm getting myself into. We have the Skull Motorbike, which is a set. I don't particularly love a lot of Lego's vehicles. Admittedly, this one is more unique than most. It's like a chopper motorcycle. The flames coming out the back is sort of cool. You've got all these bone details, which I do particularly like on this vehicle. It's nice and sleek and doesn't affect it. Wheels are a bit of a weird choice, but then again, I do question myself in Ninjago. Why does Skeleton need big vehicle? Like, it's not like with Nexo Knights where it makes some more sense because all the vehicles were like jousting horses or siege machines and stuff, just in a modern style. This is just like, Skeleton need bike, we need bike, give us bike. But it looks cool. I like the chain actually, that's just a kind of cool touch. You've got to remember this is 2011, this is a different standard of building. But if I looked at this, I would have called this like a 2014 build. So to be honest, I'll give it props for existing and looking good. Figure wise, of course, ninjas in cheap sets and whatever, and another Skullkin. And then that moves us on to actually the first set on this list that I actually own, the Ice Dragon Attack from 2011. This was given to me as a gift back in the day. Now, while I sort of missed most of Ninjago, like I was sort of coming out of its target audience as it launched in a sense, so I've never really paid too much attention to it as my mind shifted towards like the fairground sets and the modulars and the other cool stuff like Lord of the Rings and all that. This is still one that I own because I do love a good dragon, and these were like the first modern Lego dragons that we had, and those molded heads are super iconic. I also, I've got to say, I really do love the jester style of Skullkin, although I definitely prefer the new molded heads for the Skullkins. This jester hat was really cool, especially for where I was in my collecting journey. I really love the little like Chinese-Japanese banner, as well as the Zamosphere shooting feature. Zane is also looking good, and the wings are an interesting build. Overall, it's a great set. I really love them as dragons for the time. Obviously, don't hold up as well 10 years later. There are some gorgeous dragons, and that's part of the reason I want to do this retrospect, is because there are a lot of gorgeous dragons that I want to take a look at. We may have to do a separate dragon tier list when we're done with this, but no, Good set, nice dragon. Very classic dragon, I think, as well. Then that moves us on to the Turbo Shredder, which I significantly like this less than the motorcycle. I mean, it's still, again, it's got to be in the top. Like, if you rank every Lego vehicle, it's definitely in the top 50%. I like the treads. That's nice and unique. The skeleton looks cool with his little rice hat, and you've got the flame accents again, and a bit more of that purple, which looks cool. The same weird like skull thing on the front, as well as two other ninja, and some big wheels. But this is just, it's so uninteresting in comparison, like compared to the other like tank-like vehicles that we get. I mean, I do like this skull color scheme, so maybe as we go through, I'm going to change my opinion on where these guys sit, and that will be something we hopefully discuss at the end. I've got to film these fairly close together so I don't forget about them. But I like it. Just my initial reaction of, oh god, what is this mess, is pretty summarizing of the Turbo Shredder, I think, at least. That's just my opinion. Moving on, though, we have the Spinjitzu Dojo, which is our first Skullkin with a molded head. Bonsai, maybe? I really don't know. I'm not going into the in-depth images. I'm just going through brick set. But this is the Spinjitzu Dojo. This is the first set we're taking a look at that actually has a spinner with it as well. I will be doing the gimmick sets as well, because that's a whole other aspect of Ninjago to talk about. But I actually kind of like this. Again, this is another one I remember seeing in the catalogue. I really love these little corner builds. Like on the left hand side, you've got these like plant canes, and then this water zone with some spikes, and then on the right you've got lava, which is really, really cute. I love that. And then the like doors that open, and you've got the golden like nunchuck, the spinny shuriken, that's the word. That's pretty cool. I love the fact that you could expand it as well, and that you've got like this wooden beam with these jumpy swords which you could turn. Really, really playable, really, really lots of fun. I like the bamboo and the axes that can fall down, and then of course you've got this whole space in the middle for Wu to do his Spinjitzu training. As far as the architectural style, it feels a bit blocky, but I do like what was done with it. This was very new at the time. I remember being in awe by this like dome and inverted dish pieces, and the old style of like them doing the lanterns with the studs on the tap pieces. And then you've got these flick fire missiles and some stickers. Overall, for 2011 standard, I've got to give it, this was our first modern dojo. It looks pretty good, really. I mean, I can't fault it. It's a nice set. It'd probably go on my extended wanted list. And then that brings us to Garmadon's Dark Fortress, which has some nice elements, and then also what feels like a lot of unnecessary. So, firstly, I like the facade nature. Like, it feels very flat, and I kind of like that, to be honest. I don't like his throne room. This is the thing Lego does a lot with the thrones. It's weird. I don't like it. And I don't particularly like the weird skull monster that can detach and follow you around. At least it doesn't feel quite as well executed as other parts where the, oh no, part of the builds come to life, like the Stone Colossus of Ultimate Destruction, or like the combo mechs that we'll see later on. I do like the use of the castle panels, and the fact that this ground floor is pretty much just like, what, entirely prison rooms. That is super cool. I really, really like that, where it builds up this really nice texture almost, and that is only built upon by the bone bridge. Like, I feel like if you took the Garmadon logos and stuff off, this fortress could definitely be reused. Obviously, you need a centerpiece if you got rid of the skull. I really like the use of the wheels to be turrets. That's really, really cool. Your figure selection is good. I believe that's Samukai. I could be wrong. And the little coffin is cool as well. I wonder what the interior is like on this one, though. I imagine being 2011, this will not be very detailed. But really, I do quite like a lot of what was going on here. And for a castle to not be the major set of the wave, right, like it's not the biggest, is really, really cool, because that doesn't usually happen. So I'm taking a look at the back, and I am seeing pretty much non-existent for as far as play features go. I mean, like the one picture I have, you've got the launch feature for the big skull thing on the front. Obviously, you've clearly got prison cells down there and whatnot as well, haven't you? But like, I'm seeing big empty space, and you guys will have to correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's just a big prison cell. So that's a bit disappointing, but then again, sort of par for the course as far as 2011 goes. Overall, nice play feature elements, and surprisingly good for a middle of the range playset, considering that middle of the range playsets usually either get slapped as rubbish or slapped as too expensive. So it depends how you view it. Oh, that's hideous. Moving on, Skull Truck. This is hideous. I do not like that. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen this set before. Of course, like in my previous looks through Lego, I spent a lot of time researching for custom sets and other stuff. I see a lot of different sets, and obviously I'm familiar with your stuff like your Fire Temple and obviously Spinjitzu Dojo and whatnot. But I don't think I have ever seen this mess. Skull Shrug. Oh. Exposed Technic. It doesn't work here for me. Not a fan. I'm also not a fan of the monster truck suspension. I do like the face on the front, I have to say that, but the rest of the styling is hideous. You've got this nice purple windshield and then a prison cell with a skull harm that's got like a rubber band feature. Is that like a launcher? Like, what is that? Oh, it's a mess. Oh, it's a really ugly mess. Yeah, it's a launcher. It launches like a skeleton hand, which, in fairness, is a cool concept. I cannot deny that. And it looks like the device can almost munch something, but if you compare this to something like Lady Bone Demon's mech, or even I want to compare it to that other set that could munch people, or like pick people up in the front, that was Jestro's Evil Volcanic Layer. This one, not good. I don't like it at all. It just looks really iffy. You got to keep prison cell or whatever. Oh, is that 2 prison cells, 1 on each side? Okay, that's something, I guess. But, oh, that is way too much Technic, way too much monster truck, and quite honestly, a messy build. Maybe it could benefit from 1 less colour. It's sort of hard to tell, to be honest. I don't know, something about it ain't sitting right. I mean, it looks playable enough, but as for my liking, no, it's not good. But then again, I have become incredibly used to modern sets. Okay, Fire Temple. Don't look half bad. That's my initial reaction. Fire Dragon looks cool. Very similar to the Ice Dragon. I don't really have anything unique to say about him, but he does look good, especially with 2011 standards. I really like these 2 side builds here with the little bridges and the gates and the trees. They're really, really cute, and I also really love like the styling for those. They remind me a bit more of like the Legoland sets we've had recently, and actually that spot for the katanas in the thing is really clever part usage. They just really nicely add to the atmosphere, and they've got a really nice colour combo between the brown, the tan, the blue, and then the green of the tree leaves, which is really, really cool. You've got I think that's the fire sword that's got like a twirly platform. And obviously this really nice temple, which for 2011, again, is spectacular. They did a really good job with that one. Again, I think its final decision is going to come down to the interior, because I do like the side builds. I like the dragon and I like the side builds, but what have we got on the inside? Oh, wow, and this is why we take a look at the secondary images, because that's cool. You've got like this dragon platform and the temple slides open, which for 2011, that's like a Exoforce level feature. That's super cool. Really, really, really like that. Again, looking mostly empty on the inside, actually entirely empty on the inside. However, I guess the dragon sort of makes up for that. We must just be before interior. There's a lot of playability here for sure. I don't really fancy, like, it's a great building, but it's not my style as far as like this kind of building goes. I much prefer the newer stuff, I think, and I think that's just judging it with what we have available now, which is what this is all about as a retrospect. There's a lot to love here, though. The dragon does look good by 2011 standards, obviously not by modern standards. The side builds still stand up to me today, and I think they're really, really cute. And of course, I love the dragon prints on the windows. But as far as like an actual temple goes now, it's not for me, not my style. But then again, this was a lot of people's childhoods, so I'll aim to be just a little bit respectful. Okay, and then that brings us on to the blacksmith shop. Geez, this was a big launch wave compared to something like Jurassic World. This is insane. Yeah, this definitely looks like a 2011 build, or to be honest, even earlier. The weapons are cool, I guess. I really like the technique they've done for the little pool of water, but the anvil looks like a mess. Do they have like a light brick or something, like something redeeming? Because basically it's just a doll's house, but for a blacksmith shop, which is not a problem. I mean, that's a unique one that we've gotten here, but I'm not seeing anything hugely exciting. What does it look like with the roof down? Oh, no. That's a weird technique choice. This one does not look good even by 2011 standards. The play feature with the spinning in the middle is just weird because they didn't use one of like the actual spinning things for it. The chimney is no, not fancying it. This should be a mid-2010 set, really. This is not 2011 quality. at least by my standards. The Earth Dragon Defense, it's always been interesting to me because the Earth Dragon to me never really looked like a dragon, more just like an angry dog. However, knowing a bit more about dragons, you got the really cool like tail spinning feature, you got the little gems in the boulder, and a really nice color scheme with the dark tan brown and sand green, as well as a really cool face. This is definitely more of like a dog dragon, like a Weaven or something like that. Scythe of Quakes, always good. Cole as well. Actually, this one's really nice. It's probably one of my more favourites out of the way. Obviously, still behind something like the Ninja Ambush, Garmadon's Dark Fortress, and the Spinjitzu Dojo, but probably my second favourite dragon of the wave, right behind the Ice Dragon, at least some of the ones we looked at so far. You have the Ninja Training Outpost, which looks to me like either a polybag or an expansion for the Spinjitzu Dojo, which looks really sweet as an expansion, actually. I kind of like that. The target build is cool. No specific play features to speak of, but it's a cheap way to get Cole, and then you can add him to your Spinjitzu Dojo or your Fire Temple or whatever. So that's a really nice small set. I love it when they do these little side builds. That's, again, something we don't see as much of anymore at that small price range. Knuckles ATV, oh, we were doing so well with the first two. I mean, I didn't expect to regret it so early on, but the Skull Motorbike and Turbo Shredder at least have, like, skill going for them. And actually, I really enjoy them as a build, but Knuckles ATV and the Skull Truck, I do not enjoy at all. Like, they look hideous, the vehicle types are unnecessary. Whereas something like the Turbo Shredder, while I wasn't keen, if you sold me the idea of Skull Tank, I would have gone, that does not sound like a great idea. But the execution has sold me on the idea, and I actually kind of like that, especially more so now looking at the rest of them. And the Skull Motorbike is really clean. You look at the Skull Truck and the Skull Knuckles ATV, and they look just nowhere near as good. Like, you told me Skull, but it's an ATV, I'm going to go, no. You tell me Skull Turbo Shredder, I'm much more accepting of it when I see the images. But I don't want to dwell on it. Moving on, Skeleton Bowling, more Spinjitzu set. This one's very cool as well. Those skeletons are super iconic to me. I really love the round cylinder head. And also bowling, I mean, I love it. The spinning wheel, which chooses your fate at the back, is also really cool. And I really love the environmental builds here. Particularly those two what almost look like monuments at the back, left and right, with the flick fires and then the weapon choices and the lanterns. Those are definitely the better lantern builds for 2011, at least by that standard. I actually really love the use of the flex tubing as well to create more of an arena, and you've got these nice little side displays. There's just something about the colour scheme of this initial wave which is actually fairly pleasing. Then there's the other Spinjitzu set, which is the Ninjago Battle Arena, and this one's definitely a bit more of a mess, but actually I still kind of like it. It's sort of like a two-sided thing. You've got the skeletons on one side with the ninja entrance on the other, and there's a lot to find interesting. I like the builds, particularly the Torii Gate on the left. Actually, is definitely one of the more better ones for this wave. And actually, those little red pillars down the other sides of it look awesome as well. You've got these Zamel launchers, which are cool interactivities, although I'm not sure that the spinners ever worked well enough to where you'd be able to spin it, then get your other person to spin it, and then launch at each other before they stop spinning. But then again, my experience with the spinners is limited to a set we'll get to in a minute. We've got the weapons as well, which is a nice selection. It's a cute set for what it is, as far as things go. Just it exists, really, most likely. I don't have much to say on it. And then we have the Lightning Dragon Battle, where, whoo, that is nice. This is nice for 2011. Again, I knew there was a Lightning Dragon in this wave, but I did not know it came with such a cool helicopter. And again, like some of the other skeleton vehicles, this sells me on the idea of skeleton helicopter. I don't love the chainsaw rotor blade, but the shaping they did on the skeleton cockpit is incredible. They could have easily just done one of the big moulded ones, but they didn't, and it works really well. I also really love the skids with like the bone shapes. Oh, it's really cool. That's actually a really nice side build, and I think that holds up, actually. That looks like it could have been something out of Master of the Mountain, or whatever that wave was called. You've got Jay, you've got Wu, two skeletons, all good, and an electric dragon, which again follows up really strongly. Probably just ahead of the fire dragon in third place, but that colour scheme is really, really incredible. Definitely a strong dragon set, and that helicopter's really pleasantly surprised me. We'll do the polybags in a minute, but I wanted to jump back to the spinners ever so quickly. We have the Spinjitzu starter set, which was just like an arena with 2 figures and a spinner, and this is actually the second Ninjago set that I actually own, which is how I have some experience with the spinners. And to be honest, these Wave 1 spinners do not work as well as I was hoping. I mean, there's a chance I was misusing them, but the basic concept was here, right? You've got the cards, you've got your simple arena with no decoration, and you've got a couple of different weapons to try and like launch at each other, which is super cool. As far as like play features go, the spinners are really clever, and I really like them as a play feature within Lego, but definitely this initial wave falls short when you compare it to other spinners and stuff from later in the Ninjago's lifespan. Okay, there were also a load of other spinners. So we had one for Kai, we have one for Cole, one for Zane, Chopov, Boneseye, Crazy, Cole DX, Zane DX, Nia, Knuckle, Cruncher, Whiplash, Sensei Wu, and I'm sure there's some more we'll get to in a minute. These basically all look the same, so as far as my opinion goes, the ones with that are more interesting to me are going to be the ones with the unique figures. So all of the skeletons immediately get a boost, because while the ninjas are great to get a cheap set, so I'd much rather buy the more expensive set and get the ninja and a skeleton. So as far as interesting skeletons go, we're going to be looking at someone like Knuckle with the interesting molded head, especially considering I hate his ATV. You've got Cruncher as well, although Cruncher comes in another set, and Whiplash. More specifically, Whiplash and Crunch are going to be interesting because of their spinner colours, but Knuckle definitely wins it for me for having the golden bone element as well. So for a cheap set, that's a great inclusion. Lastly, we also have the Mountain Shrine, which looks great. Actually, for a really small build, this is again really cute. You've got this Kai spinner, you've got gold bars in a chest, as well as the skeleton dummy, as well as all of these little play features. This is really good, especially for 2011. You've got like the spike punching ball, the normal punching ball, these axe saws that spin, and what looks possibly expandable onto another set. I mean, you've got the technic pins at the back, so this could definitely add to your Spinjitzu thing. It's really cute. I love these environment builds from Wave 1. They've all got this really charming and unique style to them. Moving into the polybags, we have the Mini Turbo Shredder. That's about average for your 2010 polybag. Pretty bad micro build, not really interesting, no figure. I'd rather get the big one. Ninja Glider, cheap way to get Zane. Got some golden swords, which I guess is cool, but I don't really understand its purpose, so I'm going to give it a fail. Skeleton Chopper, well, you're designed to buy that and the Ninja Glider and fight them off against each other, which is a cool premise, but it would help if they were actually good sets. Ninja Training, probably the best out of the polybags we've seen so far. You've got this weird like skeleton-like build and some swords which I kind of can assume can spin. So the fact that it even has a play feature is immediately limiting it, because not only have you got the imaginative play of something like the Ninja Glider, but you've also got an actual action feature. 2, Dragon Fight. Nope, no thank you. Microscale Dragon in 2011, it just looks bad. And then just J in a bag. Cool, I guess. A J in a bag. Is there anything else left in the 2011 wave? We've got some 3-on-1s. This is cool. This Ninjago card shrine. I really like that because not only has it got this bit of like Chinese architecture that like you could mock into something else, but it's also a place to display your favourite card, and I can imagine you could get quite a lot of these lined up and it would look super cool actually. That's really ahead of its time for 2011, but also feels so 2011 at the same time. So I really like that. The card shrine, that's a really cool like exclusive. I'm assuming that was a gift with purchase or something, or just something that was hard to get by, but we'll see. Okay, so that moves us into 2012. So we should see some developments. Obviously, the second year Ninjago should get stronger. First up, we have the Venomari Shrine, and the first thing I want to point out is that the new ninja helmets are so much better. The old ones are much nostalgic and stuff, but as soon as we added that gold bit, this is, if you think of Ninjago, this is the outfit I think of, is the Snake Wave. I don't know why, because I have no connection. I didn't watch the show. I didn't really follow the sets after that first wave. I remember the big teaser where they were like, "Oh, Golden Ninja," or not Golden Ninja, Green Ninja. Yeah, it was Lloyd, wasn't it? Lloyd. He was introduced in this wave too. Was this it? Because it was all like this big thing about who was going to be the Green Ninja, or have I got the wrong wave? Either way, doesn't matter. Moving on. Venomari Shrine. Okay, as far as the actual build goes, really like the Zane minifigure, really nice. The trans green and that printed snake print look absolutely amazing. The snake scythe. I'm always a sucker for collectathons. We'll talk about this with Monster Fighters one day, where you've got the Moonstones, which are absolutely awesome. But you've also got this really cool snake piece, which I believe they invented for this line. Overall looks really good. I'm sure there is a play feature in here, so let's take a closer look because I am intrigued about this Venomari Shrine. Yep, there is definitely a play feature in there to launch snakes, I think. That looks about right. Yeah, that's a snake launch. Oh, that's really cool because the snake like sits on the stud and then you press down on the plate and they go launching. That's really cool, actually. I really like that. And actually, just the dripping poison effect from the snake's mouth behind the scythe looks awesome as well. That's an advanced technique, particularly for 2011. I really like that. That moves us on to Clyde's Blade Cycle, and we get the first of our snake minifigures, who are immediately going to be standout figures from my perspective. I don't so much love the side build here for this one. I think that's the Hypno staff. See, I know bits and pieces of Ninjago lore, as we'll discover. That side build's pretty weak to me, although I do like the little print in the snake staff, and I do like the snake staff. This is going to be the beginning of our Ninjago vehicle trend, though, with hero vehicles being clunky, oversized, and just looking bad. Never felt that Kai needed a blade cycle, they've called it. Where are the blades, is my first question. Can someone show me the blades? Either way, regardless, it strikes me as unnecessary. It's boring as a concept, and frankly, it's okayly executed, but I have no interest. It's just boring to me. I didn't think Kai needed a motorcycle. Jay's Stormfighter Jet has a bit of a better side build, probably one of the worst of the snakes because it's just a minifigure with a hat. And then, of course, the Jet as well, which looks good by Jet standards, but once again, I find myself having little desire to buy something like that when we've got so many cool other vehicles coming up. And in fact, I definitely think there have been better representations of a Stormfighter, as we'll see as we go through. And then immediately, we just proved my point with the Rattlecopter. I mean, you just look at this in comparison to the Stormfighter, and then it's just so much more interesting. Now, this is a set I'd want to buy. And why would I want to buy it? Because it's cool, wacky, creative, and feels like a Lego set that's really interesting. We've got 3 great minifigures here with a moulded Snakehead, Young Lloyd, and Fire Kai with a backpack of some sorts. We've also got a helicopter snake like a snake, which honestly, like, just thinking about what did we just talk about, the stone and the skull one, the skullcopter in the Thunder Dragon set. I'm going to get all the names wrong. We looked at it in the last wave, was cool. This does it well as well. Like this one a little less because it's more of a jet, I guess, instead of a helicopter. Like, I just don't like the overall shaping, whereas the other one looked more like a helicopter, so it was more believable. But it's got this really sleek and snake-like design. I absolutely adore the use of the Technic balls to represent the red eyes and the snakes. That's something that's done consistently, and I like it. You've got what looks to probably be another play feature in there, but you've also got some stud launchers. Again, it's definitely much more interesting than the previous sets we've taken a look at this wave, apart from like the Venomari Shrine. But it's definitely not the most exciting. Yeah, there's definitely some other play feature going in there with what looks like a flapping feature, maybe. It looks like you can press down on the sides and something happens. It's not making itself very clear. There are very few pictures of these old sets. Oh well, something launches somewhere. Helicopter. Can't judge it if it won't show me. Next up we have Cole's Tread Assault, who has a really cool snake. I love the dark blue and gold colour scheme. Again, something we'd come back to if we ever do Pharaoh's Quest and Adventurers, which I'm sure we will, because that is an awesome theme, Adventurers. Again, it's just boring. It's rip-off Tumblr. I'm not going to say anything else. I just don't care. His Earth Driller is so much cooler, and I will talk about that eventually. Then we've got the Fangpire Truck Ambush with, again, 2 awesome snake minifigures with this really cool moulded head. We've got this much more interesting Zane vehicle because it actually looks like something that could be useful for an ice ninja, and it isn't just straight up a car. So I appreciate that. And then we've got this awesome snake truck. This is cool because of the whipping the tail feature, right? That's just like a so self-destructive thing. Like, you've got this car that's zooming down the road, and then you've got this tail just smashing into buildings, taking out its like people that are chasing it. You've got this really nice color scheme with the lime green and the purple, the cool smashing feature. Once again, the ball joints for the eyes, and these really nice well, these were used for Spinjitzu. These little snake-like trims in the wheels look awesome, as well as the flag for a tail. Like the tongue even, you've got metal tubes and wheels and things. Oh, it's so cool. It's just a really unique concept. It's like, what if Snake was a truck? It's just executed so much better than the stupid skull ones were from last wave. That it just works, and I accept it, and I move on. To the Destiny's Bounty. Oh, you guys are not going to like me for this one. I don't like it. Considering that this was done in the same year as Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm pretty sure, or even a year after, this ain't good. They should have used the boat pieces at the back. I don't know what was going on. It looks like a mess. You've got a cannon, some sails which open up, and an uncoloured dragon head. The best part about this set is the side shrine and the 2 Hypno minifigures, as well as Garmadon as well. I like the side builds, I don't like the Destiny's Bounty, and no matter how iconic it is, I don't want to pick it up. Which moves us on to Lasher's Bite Cycle, which has a side build that exists. It looks like a forge of some sort. That's just cool enough. I wish it had a bit more like space, maybe like a hammer play feature like you saw around this time in Kingdoms, which is actually another theme I'd love to do a retrospect on, because you guys know that Castle isn't my favourite thing in the world. As far as Lasher's Bite Cycle goes, I prefer the bikes from the Skull Wave. This is probably the least interesting of the snake vehicles, if we're going to start. No interesting tail feature, purple pew-pews out the back, and a really low motorcycle. I mean, it's cool that you can't see the front wheel. I do like that, because it just makes it a bit more unique, and it makes it look like the snake's actually like scuttling. But there's some weird choices towards the middle and back. It's like they dropped the green from the colour scheme and just went for grey. Still feel like green accents should have been present. The Lasher minifigure and Cole minifigures do look great though, so that's cool. But just find myself being less interested in that than the Vampire truck, which is horrendous because the Vampire truck suffers so much from monster truck syndrome. Which moves us on to the Samurai mech, and before we talk about the mech, we've got some cool figures. You've got this little like short leg snakes which look really cool, particularly the black and orange one. Reminds me of something out of Atlantis, looks great. Of course, you've got Samurai X as well, and then a big mech, which to me just looks like a train transformer, because they've used those the train like cowgirls pieces on the shoulders. So every time I see this, I just think it's a train that's like turned into a mech. Overall, a pretty cool mech. No knees, lots of like mechanical details. Looks pretty good, especially for an early Ninjago mech. I'm interested with this one to see how the other Samurai X mechs hold up. I do like the cannon on the shoulder, looks a bit piratey for my liking, but you know, it works. There's some good details here, especially for 2012, and it's an alright set, not one I'm hugely interested in. We've then got the Ultrasonic Raider, and I know that they've remade this set, and I'm just going to say the new one looks better. I really don't really want to talk about this one. It's just... Oh, I mean the... is that Pythor? I think that's Pythor. He looks cool, along with the other green snake. That might be Spitter. I really don't know my snake names. And then the 4 Ninja included is cool. I just don't like the design for the Ultrasonic Raider, because they tried to go almost like steampunky, I guess, with the browns and the gold and the fire coming out the side. But it don't work. Hunted worked really well for that. And I think that's what we're going to see as we go on through these waves, is that their theming's just going to get so much better. But I don't want to waste time on this one. It's not interesting to me. It's well built for the time, but the new one is so much better. Or it was even like only like 2 or 3 years later. But the new one's better. That's what I'm going to say. Moving on to the Epic Dragon Battle now. This is one I remember seeing in the catalogs. The 4-headed dragon looks very, very cool. Really, really like that, because it really did feel like a culmination, right? You had these 4 individual dragons last wave, and then you got the green ninja, and suddenly this headpiece was on the dragon 4 times, and it was so cool. As far as the rest of the build goes, once again, it does look really, really cool. You've got all of these colours and these whites and these trans greens towards the back, but the actual middle section and the actual build for like flapping the wings and whatever it was just ain't holding up well, especially compared to like the modern version of this dragon, and then everything else. And I'm really trying to judge these sets as if they were by when they came out, but sometimes it's impossible, and this is one of those occasions where it's a really, really cool concept, but it just wasn't executed the best. The little like side build with the prison cell is really good, especially for 2011 standards. This is something we see quite a lot of these days, but then again, it really always, when we see it modernly, it reminds me of this kind of era. I really like the golden snakes and the way they're going in. We got the poison and things, the headpiece again, and then of course the prison cell, which goes up this ramp with this really nice red landscaping, which is not something we see attempted very often. You've got a great minifigure selection: Green Ninja, Garmadon, Wu, and then 3 cool snakes with unique molds. And then the Great Devourer, who does look awesome as well. He's held up quite well, actually. I'd still recognise him. I think he's time for a legacy remake of the Great Devourer. I think that's necessary. He does look really, really cool, though. I love the blades for the teeth, and once again, the piercing red eyes, and the consistent green colour scheme looks great on him as well. And then we have the Fangpire mech, which I'm going to give it credit for being ridiculous. It does just look sort of insane, like Snake Mech. Okay. Honestly, the proportions, they're reminding me of something else. Or what theme are they reminding me of? I think it's reminding me of like one of the space themes with like the weird walker mechs, because it's sort of insane, isn't it? It's just a bit... Well, how do I even describe this? It's Big Snake. What? Oh dear. It's cool, I guess. I mean, it works. It's not my style at all, but you know, if we're going to give it credit where credit's due, it's unique. It's got a cool snake head with a unique twist, and I'm sure kids absolutely loved it. Spinner Arena Battle. Oh, I remember this one. So, Arena, cool, you got it nice and simple, whatever. I love the use of like the Norbert piece there. You got the arena map in the middle. I like this one more than the one from the last year's wave because of like the interaction. Yeah, you don't have the gates, and the gates were really, really cool as like entrances. But if you combine them with this, and then you've got like the little like like the pouncing feature on both sides, where you could slap down on the Technic lever and the head would like jump forward and attack like the spinners. That's really cool. It reminds me of like Hungry Hippos. That's really, really cool. I like that a lot. And the snake and the dragon both look good. Dragon looks a bit worse for wear, but you know, it works as well. Reliant, of course, on elastic bands, but that's not a problem. And then, of course, you've got the nice little weapons display at the back. Overall, really, really cool, actually. I really like that play feature. That's really, really nice. And then on to potentially the weirdest set they've ever produced. I wish we had the snake train. Like, my oh my, I wish we had the snake train. We've got cool minifigure selection. I'm ignoring the elephant in the room. Lungyoid and the snake guy in red. And then, of course, this is the Fangpire Wrecking Ball. It's so cool. Like, it's so dumb cool. Like, just dumb. It's so dumb, but I love it. Oh my god. It's the creative chaos that we need from LEGO more often. I talked about this with the 2022 sets and how the police sets finally went a bit wacky with their villains. Now, this is when the snake vehicles are done and executed well, which is why I can't fault the mech, because technically what it is executed well, where I might not like it. The Fangpire Truck Ambush executed well, Lash's Bite Cycle less so, and the Rattlecopter executed well. This is so dumb. They were like snake wrecking ball, and it works so well, and it actually looks really good. I'd say this one still holds up today. Yeah, it's looking a little worse for wear on the pieces used, but I really love the shape on the snake's eyes. You've got the flag for the tongue, you've got the treads, and the more mechanized look while keeping that dark green prevalent enough to keep it going. You've got the lime green at the back and the little like thing with the wrecking part. Oh, it looks so good. I kind of want this one. It looks great. I love the Fangpire Wrecking Ball, actually. It's so cool. Okay, that moves us into our 2012 Spinjitzu, and no spinners. Did they come with spinners? Are you telling me they didn't come with spinners? Kendo Cole? Did Kendo Cole come with spinner? Did he have spinner? Did we get spinner with him? Oh no, these are booster packs. Right, sorry, I did not realise that Ninjago ever did this. So this is like CMFs, I guess. Okay, I get it now. Right, so you get a minifigure and a load of bases, but you don't get the spinner. That you have to use from someone else. So these are accessories for spinners, and you get one for Lloyd, you get Jay, Zane, Mesmo, the Mixel, no, Mesmo the snake, Baitar, and Lizaru. Okay, so that wasn't Spitter earlier. Oh, I don't know anymore. They're so confusing. Okay, so these are all booster packs. Again, this mostly comes down to the minifigure and the pieces included. So once again, ninjas I don't care about. And by far, it's going to be Mesmo, Baitar, and Lizaru, which are the most interesting out of the booster packs. Mainly because you're buying a CMF, and that's just it. Then there's this training set, which looks like a really awesome addition to the Spinjitzu set we took a look at earlier, the Spinner Battle Arena. Which has this really cool like dual thing. It looks like you can flip these things up to like launch things, and you've got weapons and things, and then one minifigure. Overall, not brilliant. The build's okay, but I don't love the split personality thing. It's a bit weird, really. Then we move into the actual spinners. Kai looks pretty boring. Lasher, again, more interesting minifigure, so slightly better, though not really a fan. Kendo Zane, again, pretty boring. Snapper, that's just the minifigure with the hat, so that's not particularly interesting, although it does look, it's a quality figure for 2012. Samurai X is boring. Fang Shui, am I saying that right? With the snake head is more interesting. So far, he is winning. It's having a cool design. Then you've got Spitter, who is now winning, so Spitter, Fang Shui, and then Lasher taking the top 3. Then you've got Energy J, boring. Fangdam taking second spot behind Spitter. Energy Cole, boring. Slitherer taking second spot. So Spitter, Slitherer, Fangdam. Is anyone keeping up with these names? Fang, Sway, Lasher, and Snapper. Lloyd ZX. I'm not even going. Another starter set. Same thing as before with the starter set. It's cool, it's necessary, but we can move on. Energy Zane, and then a weapons pack, which is probably better than the booster packs. I think this works better. You get the actual spinner included. I don't really get the point of the booster pack. You're going to be pretty disappointed. You might as well just buy a CMF at that point. And then that brings us on to our polybags. Okay, so the first one, we have Jumping Snakes, which has a feature where the snakes jump at you. Less well executed in the Venomari Shrine, buy that one. Hidden Sword. Cool little display way to get Zane, I guess. I actually own this one. This is one of the polybags I own. It works, I guess. It's nice enough, it just doesn't have anything too special, but it's better than Cole's car, which sucks. Rattler, just in a polybag, a cool way to get CMF. And we've got some Super 3-in-1s, some promotional polybags, and then another character card. Oh, I'm great to see that's back. Oh, this one looks cool as well. Less so than the Woo one from last wave, but this one's also cool. Like, if they kept going with this, like, you've got the Wave 1 ones, and you've got these ones as, like, the Wave 2 ones. You get a cool minifigure, which you didn't get in the Woo one, right? There was no figure in that one. And you got, like, this Venomari Shrine-like thing. Like, that's cool. I like that. I'm surprised by those. And then we'll move on to 2013. And I think what we'll do is we'll do 2013 and then we'll call it for today. And then we'll come back for the rebooted part of Ninjago. So like when they decided not to cancel it next time. Because I know that this wave was the last one. And we got some cool enough stuff here to take a look at. Okay, so we've got Kai's Fire Mech. Oh, I said we got some cool stuff to take a look at. I mean, this is not it. Compared to I'd prefer the Snake Mech from last wave. This looks trash. It's a cool concept, like having him low down in the mech. I like the composition of it, but apart from that, I'm not really interested. Warrior Bike, green. Nuh-uh. Don't like the green. Oh, that's an instant no. No green. Wrong accent colour. They chose the wrong accent colour. No interest in the wheels. This just doesn't have any of the personality that the other two waves had, because the other ones had these like anthropomorphic like skulls and snakes to theme around. This one has I'm a Stone Warrior, which by the way are insanely cool figures, but I'm just not interested in this bike because it's trying to be a Stone Warrior, and I'm like, but I don't care because you're not a cool snake wrecking ball. Moving on to actually a better set, Cole's Earth Driller. This was a great one. A lot of nostalgia behind this one. I don't own it, of course, but it still looks really, really, really cool. I love this. This works with him because he's Earth Ninja, isn't he? So he can go drill underground. It's cool. I really, really like the shaping. I like the big wheels, and I love the drill on the front. And of course, it's spun, which is cool. Stone Warrior looks great. Zane looks great. All really cool things. We got the Golden Dragon this wave around, which has the weird dumpy head that I don't like. I don't know when they changed the head design, but this one don't work. We've had better Golden Dragons since, and I don't really like this one. By this point, I think 3 years in Ninjago, this just sort of felt unnecessary. They weren't doing anything unique with the dragons like we're going to see in later ones. Like, because nowadays we've got the Water Dragon or like the Crazy Jungle Dragon with all these unique colour schemes. And while, of course, these dragons are all different colours, they're all doing the same thing. They've got the same style of wing, the same style of tail, the same feet, same head, same Zamosphere. No tail flicking features of yet, really. So I'm pretty bored by that Golden Dragon. And then we've got the Garmatron. It exists, I think. I mean, as far as show accuracy goes, I kind of like it. I love the General. He looks cool with, like, whatever his name is. The big gun thing works, I guess. That's cool enough. It just sort of feels like Ninjago's into the edgy phase. I don't know. It's just... I'm not loving it. Zane's thing looks weird. I do actually really like the seating area at the top. There's some really nice shaping. This is probably the best of the Stone Army vehicles, mainly because it's not trying too hard. But it's also working. It works really well. You've got like the chair at the top. That's super cool, actually. I like that. I'm assuming there's like a prison cell on the back. Should we take a look? Yeah, let's take a quick look. More images. Yeah, there's a prison cell at the back. I called it. How did I know? See, I'm just too good. I just spend too much time with Lego. Oh, and you've got some really nice like displays and things at the back as well. That's a cool small set. I like it. I like the actual build. It feels like very Ninjago-y to me. I don't know what it is. I can't describe it. It exists. And then we've got the Temple of Light, which looks hideous. That's probably one of the worst temples we've ever got. I do like the pillars at the top with the golden dragons. They look very oriental. Really like those. Fire pit's cool, I guess, but very empty, very boring, no play features, and dumb mech. Because that is dumb. Like, I don't get it. Just dumb. Dumb mech. Dumb. It's dumb mech. We're going to move on. I'm going to crush so many people here. Unsubscribe. Sure, go ahead. I can say what I like, but we're going to do more of these retrospects. You know what? We'll do another year. 2013 was small. Okay, and this brought us Ninja. This was rebooted. It was right. I was right. This is the rebooted wave. Oh, this is fairly small as well. It feels like Ninjago calmed down after the first 2 years. The first 2 years were huge. You had all these polybags and spinners and things. They sort of gave up on the gimmicks for a few years, I suppose. Okay, rebooted. This is definitely still in the edgy phase, isn't it? Like, last wave was the edgy phase with the Stone Army, which was so much smaller than I was expecting. We are so still in the edgy phase. Okay, Hover Hunter. I'm not going to fault it. Cool vehicle. It feels a bit Ultra Agents to me, because they were out about the same time, 2014. Ultra Agents 2 with Antimatter and that lot. I like the scythe beneath the front of the vehicle. You've got flick fires. I mean, stud shooters were introduced in 2014. I feel like this is a couple of months too early, and I would have loved to have seen some flick fires instead, because I don't like those instead. The Ninjas are just boring to me as far as like villains go, compared to like so many of the other characters with all these cool molds and stuff. I just don't like the robot ninjas, at least not this guy in particular. I do like his like little safety vest thing though, with the chains coming down above him. And you've got, is that a second seat in the front, or is that just like somewhere to get murdered by a spinner? I want to see. That looks like a play feature to me. That can't just be an intentional gap, right? They haven't just left a gap over the spear for no reason. Yeah, no, they left a gap for no reason. Oh, but to be fair, for a £10 set, you know, I'll take it. I like the green little blade thing. They seem really cool to me. And I do like the saw as well. So there's some stuff to like there. That's cool. Cool vehicle. Kai Fighter. The new one's better. And this one don't look great. Again, with Kai and the jet and things, I don't care for Kai's jet. I know what I'm supposed to say about this. Looking back, this ain't a great set. It's plain. It does a thing with the wings. It goes out, in, out, in. Just feels too edgy. When was Ninjago turning into a real-life crime-fighting organisation? Then we have the Overborg attack. That's Cyrus Borg, right? That looks familiar. I've seen that torso before. Lloyd on a bike. One of his better vehicles, surprisingly, because at least the bike isn't a 7-foot wide car or plane. So I'll take that. The bike looks great. It looks better than most of the other Lloyd vehicles, and that is something I will continue to state. I like the little city build. That's cute for what it is. And then I don't even know where to start with the Borg vehicle. It's like a tread tank, but with blades, and it looks like a detachable spider mech on the top, which is cool enough. You know, like props to them for doing something so wacky. There's like 4 different detachable sections, maybe. It looks cool enough. It looks like exactly what it wants, like an amalgamation of machine parts and that lot. So I like that. Then we've got the Thunder Raider, which is the weirdest 2 vehicle set I've seen in a while, because instead of having an enemy vehicle and a good vehicle, you've just got 2 good vehicles. You've got the Cole Mech and the Jay's Thunder Raider. Does this have a play feature? Like, this feels like they should be able to combine with each other. Let's have a check. I feel like they should... Yeah, no, again. How am I so good at calling these things? Like, I don't know. Yeah, so the Cole Mech can attach to the Thunder Raider. That makes more sense now, rather than showing them on the box as 2 separate things. That feels like a weird choice. The little side cannon's surprisingly good for what it is, actually. I kind of like that. And, of course, the vehicles don't look great. But, you know what? Sure, they work for what they are. They can combine together. It's a cool play feature. Good for kids. Moving on. To the Ninja Copter. Oh, I remember not liking this set back in the day. Oh, I still don't like this set. Not Ninjago. Hashtag not my Ninjago. This is not my Ninjago. No. No, 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 no. I like the vehicle Evil Jets, but I don't like the colour scheme. Actually, I do like the colour scheme, but I don't like how it's being used. I would have preferred it on literally any other vehicle. You've got this weird, like, seat cockpit with, like, the spinny fan thing in the middle. It's too long, so much wasted space. I'm assuming that is a storage compartment at the back. We'll take a look. But, oh, I don't like it at all. It looked hideous on the box art, I remember, as well. Actually, no, the box art's alright. Yeah, it's a prison cell. Okay. There's some stuff here. Why do they have a bird? Can anyone explain the bird? That feels like a weird... Who is the bird? The bird must be important, right? They don't often include stuff like that in these. I don't like it. I really, really don't like it. Not my Ninjago. Solid build for the time, but it feels like something out of Galaxy Squad. Nindroid Mech Dragon. Now, this is a cooler dragon concept because they did something unique with it over the Golden Dragon from last wave. I don't like the execution, though. The head is cool, and the weird sword blades are cool, but you could very easily see this without the minifigures and assume that it was a China set from the Ravens, because that's what it looks like. The middle is somewhat messy to me, and the wings work, but I can't see what's going on behind them. There's a mess there. It's too wide. But I do like some of the elements here. I do like the head, as I said, and I love the little chainsaw, like, front wing parts, just not the rest of it. But really, really cool concept, so I'll give them that. Good technical execution at the very least, just not good composition. And Kolkar sucks, because it's Kolkar. What did you expect? Destructoid. Again, yeah, I'm going to elaborate on that. They don't need city vehicles. Make them more interesting. Destructoid. Pretty cool tank. I prefer the Stone Army one from last wave that we talked about because it was more interesting. But this is a different style. This is more like a mech truck, I guess. I don't really know how to describe stuff like this. You've got treads, you've got big saw arms. It's cool. It's like an evil villain robot. Personally, Next Knights was definitely much more my alley when it came to stuff like this. I think back to like the Three Brothers thing or Pigsy's Noodle Tank. That's what it's reminding me of, Pigsy's Noodle Tank. Both of which I prefer more, maybe because they're more colourful, more wacky and stuff. But it exists, it works. We're in the edgy phase. What can I expect? I forgot there was a car in this wave. I thought I had until 2018 before the ninjas went full on racer on me. X1 Ninja Charger. You already know I'm not going to like it. It doesn't matter if it's well executed or not. Car looks alright. Car looks too souped up at the back. Car has flick fire missiles and stud shooters in the same set, which is just a mess. And the hovercraft is inferior compared to the other wave. Kai's hair's weird. Ninja backpack. What is the droid? Looks cool. I like him. What's he? Let's take a look at that. Like the 7-piece side build that looks like a flying like missile launcher. I like him. He might be my favourite part of the set. What does he do? Let's find out in the images. Is he just his own separate character? That's kind of cool. I like that. I don't know if you can even tell what I'm talking about. I don't even know if I'm going to put images on this video because it's going to be so long. The bike comes out the front of the car. That's a cool feature, I guess. I prefer the Lloyd stud shooters, but I don't like it when the ninjas get racing cars. They just seem so dumb to me. But I do like that little side droid. But apart from that, the hovercraft's inferior as well. I do not like the X1 Ninja Charger. And then Battle for Ninjago City has a cool colour scheme. Yep. I've always questioned why this is called Battle for Ninjago City when there is no city in sight. Overlord's mech is weird. I would have preferred if they'd just done the Overlord as a minifigure. His dragon is so much cooler in the Legacy sets. You've got something going on in this building. I do like the colour scheme. It does stand out, and I do like that. But that is really only one small part. But we did get a full interior, so I suppose I've got to give it credit. So we've got the jail cell, you've got like exploding stair feature, you've got little treasure room. These are all really, really cool, especially for 2014. Because at this point you've got to bear in mind, Lord of the Rings is out now. Like, Lord of the Rings setting the precedent for the detail on interiors, and the new sets coming in from now. We're in 2014. We are moving into the modern era. This is the year Parisian Restaurant came out on January 1st. Interior should be taking up a step in quality. Even for playsets, I don't care. It is just fact. You got guns in the roof. I mean, it's set up to be like a siege, but I just don't find myself caring about what we're sieging. I think that pretty much sums it up. Overlord mech's weird. I think is my one summary there. And then Ninjago Battle Pack, which was not a battle pack. It was Dareth, a trophy, and an android. You cannot call that a battle pack. That is insane. Although Dareth existing is cool. Moving on to the end of the video. We're moving into 2015, and I'm going to stop you there because, boy, if you know anything about me, you know that the next couple of waves are going to be pure fire, because we have some of the most thematically interesting Ninjago waves. Just to give you a teaser, we have Possession, which is probably one of my all-time favourites. We've got the first D2Cs coming in, Temple of Ed Jitsu, you get to hear my thoughts about that, and I promise it's not all bad. Then we have the Anacondrae coming up as well, which, if you guys know me in playsets, you know I'm gonna have some really cool thoughts about, so I'm gonna tease you like this. And then we get into the weird stuff as well, where we get to talk about Skybound and more gimmicks and big figs and crazy things. So you guys have a lot to look forward to, so I hope you will come back next week and I'm not going to regret splitting this video. And let me just tell you, if you thought that this was me hating on Ninjago for 55 minutes, you'd be wrong, because while I have some issues with a lot of the early waves, of course the Anacondrae wave I do love. They're not even Anacondrae, I don't even know what they are. No, the Magrubas. The what are they called? They don't have names. The pythons, the snakes, the snake people, the snakies, the snake people. Either way, I love the snake wave. The snake wave, and obviously it's very iconic. I just didn't grow up with Ninjago, and I am not afraid to show it as it is with some of these sets because they don't hold up as well, and they're not to my personal taste. And this is a biased retrospect. So I hope you guys can appreciate what I have to say, even if it's negative. And I just want to assure you that by the time we reach Master of the Mountain, I completely changed my opinion. I love that wave so much, but that is spoilers. So modern Ninjago is best Ninjago, I think, is what we sum up, and you will get to see my opinions slowly shift towards that in part 2 next time. I did not expect wave 1 and 2 to be that big. So let me know your favourite Ninjago set from the years 2011 to 2014 down below, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.